Hello, good morning, and happy Monday. I've got a Zilby on my lap today, um, which does make it a little bit harder to get close to the keyboard. But figured I'd start round time anyways. Oh, can you sort of almost see him? And he's purring. He's happy. Oh, are you done? You're done. Okay. Never mind. I had a Zilby on my lap. Okay, so where are we on to? What are we doing today? We are. Yeah, we're setting up a local database with Docker today. That's gonna be fun. I need to double check my. Hold on. When do I have these things? Okay, so display night shift is on. Oh, okay. So I have that until sunrise. I need to I need to change that. It's night shift. It's winter time, so sunrise is now happening after I start streaming. So I want custom from, let's say, like 9 p.m. until, sure, 7 a.m. Then if I start early, you'd all be able to see that shift over. Okay, so that out of the way. Set up a local database with Docker. All right. Now I have. Okay, so full stack Rust. We have routing. Okay, so we have. So I no longer need this in routing because I'm done with routing. So I can remove you. So next up is going to be, well, I guess we might just stay in here for a little bit of time. Well, maybe just this video. This is not going to be a full Docker course. I think that there might be value in doing that later, like at a different time for just how to use Docker and how to set it up under backend. Okay, so I think on this one I have. Do I want this Docker compose? I don't know if I want this Docker compose or not. I think we want to do this under probably just lessons and have it be its own Docker compose thing. I think that makes sense. So if I do backend Rooks Axum lessons, we're gonna add a new folder here called database. Probably data. Yeah, let's just call this data. And then I'll put, wish I could just add a file to our workspace. That would be really nice. But I don't think I can do that. Then we'll put this read. Then I'll put a Docker Compose inside of data here to create a database. And right, okay, so we can set up a local database with Docker. All right. Let me save my changes to README that I made over the weekend. I was uploading some files, but I haven't made them public yet. They're just sort of sitting there in the uploaded state because they take a long time to upload. Okay, so this is marked videos uploaded. Okay, so if I want to create a database thing in here, we have two choices, don't we? We could set up a local database just with Docker itself using Docker commands. And then we just connect to that, right? I think that might make sense. Instead of Docker compose, we can just do Docker run. And then each time we start it up, we can then do Docker start again. All right. What do I have running here? So I don't have. I'm probably going to call this like FS Postgres for full stack Postgres. So if I remember correctly, well, there's a couple different things that we need to worry about here. So you come over here to find Postgres or whatever database you're planning on using. I believe CORM can connect to a whole bunch of different ones. We set up Postgres essentially this way. So we're going to do Docker run. Now we could do it. A name probably makes sense. So full stack Postgres. I want. It might make sense to be able to connect into it. Let's see if I can connect into it later on, because accessing it with PSQL would be nice too. Okay, so Docker run name Postgres. I probably want to do some ports. So I think Postgres is 5432. I want, and I think it's just called Postgres, right? Oh, I need this environment variable. Postgres password. I usually like to use keyboard cat. And then Postgres. Okay. The dash D is fine too. It makes it run in daemon mode or background mode. So if I run this, that gets started. So you're running. Then I can connect into it maybe with a Docker attach. Is it Docker attach? It might be Docker exec. Docker exec dash IT fs Postgres. Oh yeah, okay, that got me in. So then I can run PSQL. Right, the username is Postgres. So, and I'm in. Now there's no database in here. There's no database in here, and if I want to create a database and then have it auto populate that, I feel like we're kind of getting into territory where it gets complicated enough the command line that we might as well just switch to use Docker Compose. And the latest version of Docker Compose allows us to just create a compose file. So I think we should just do that. So that's Docker stop. Okay, so remove those. Create a compose.yaml file. All right, apparently you don't need a version if you just use a compose.yaml file anymore. It's no longer necessary. So we can go straight to services. And we have maybe Postgres here. I don't need to build you. I don't have a special command for you. Container name you can say with Postgres. Depends on, you should be fine. Entry point. V file. Okay, so we have environment. This is. So I'm doing this as a practice round really quickly. And then we'll switch over to recording it. Okay, so are there any other environment variables that I care about? I don't think so. So we have a Postgres password, the user, which will be Postgres by default, which is fine. The database will be also Postgres. And the PG data is fine where it is. Okay. We need to expose. Oh, expose is for other. Expose is for uh, not this. Expose would be for running other things inside of Docker here, which we don't need to do. Health check is nice. Health check is indeed nice. I have a health check somewhere. Let me see if I could find it. Okay. So under test, Oh, that's a MySQL check. Oh, but it's an interesting idea where it essentially just runs a select. Okay, here, let me paste in the health check. This is what I got from a MySQL database that I use in a different project. Obviously, you can't use a MySQL command in a Postgres command, but let's go ahead and let's rerun. Let's rerun our Postgres again. So we have you. Then I'll docker exec into that. And so I want to see if I run psql dash capital U Postgres. I don't think I need to put in a password. Now, do they have like a silent or an S? But I can do a. I don't think I even need the execute. So I think I could just run the thing that I want to run. So like I don't know what the select one is. Oh, database select one does not exist. Okay, so it wants to read this from a specific database. So Postgres. Okay, so I can do quiet instead of silent. I can use dash D for database name to connect to. So let's update this command. We're gonna do PSQL. Don't know about that. It's gonna be dash capital U. That's Postgres. I don't think we're gonna need a password. Uh, and it is I think dash Q. Yeah, dash Q for quiet. Um, we have a dash D for the database. That's Postgres. Now, I want to like execute a command. Oh, and that's going to be dash C. Now, I don't know whether or not select one makes any sense. I mean that works in a MySQL database. I don't think I've ever run this here, but let's try this. Role Postgres does not exist. It should be the user Postgres, right? Okay. If I don't do the command, what's the oh, equals Postgres. I need to do a space. So just like that. There we go. Okay, that works. So then we put this back in with C, select one. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh, right, because I'm literally just running select one. Just, okay, I got it. For some reason, I was thinking it was like grabbing a table or doing something like that. I could potentially do this later, and that would work. Both first add, hello. So I guess instead of select one, I could just do select I am ready, which I think makes it a little bit easier to understand what's happening here. Now I could also do select star from. We don't have a table in here, do we? So we could yeah, we don't have a table here. Okay, so select you. I don't. This is not an equal sign. Quiet mode, daemon. No. Database Postgres. Run command. Select. Ready. There we go. This is great as a health check. I like using them because you can do things when like starting things up to say, hey, wait until this thing is healthy, which is a way to actually wait for the database to start up as opposed to just trying to set like a sleep time or something else. Image. Okay, so I want image to be Postgres. I believe that it's just Postgres, right? Yes. Postgres. We could do latest. Don't need labels. The default network is gonna be fine. Ports. Okay, so I want R432. I think that's the only port we care about. Don't have any profiles that we need to worry about yet. Volumes we need to worry about. Okay, so we're gonna have two volume sort of setups for this. One is going to be a data volume that we're going to use. So actually down here we're gonna have volumes. Yes, I know. It's okay. I promise you, you're okay. This will probably be like data, like data volume. I like using snake case for that. No configuration options for it, just that it knows it exists. So I want data volume, and then inside the container, PG data. Okay, the default is varlib Postgres data. If the data volume you're using is a file system mount point, so yeah, we're going to do this volume to varlib Postgres QL data. So go there. Read write is the default, although I can set that for read write. And then we want another one. So inside of data, let's create another folder called init. We can create a file called init.sql. And I want to mount okay, every time we start this, it's going to send, okay, it's going to mount this. So host path. All right. So host path is going to be slash init. I think I can do this. So then initialization scripts go into here. Now this can be read only, I believe. I wonder if I need a star. I don't think I do. I need to basically take init and basically turn it into this thing, so that way the contents are inside of this directory here. Okay. That was the last thing. Volumes. Okay, excellent. I like to have image be the top level thing. But besides that, I don't know if I really care that much about the setup. Okay, so I should be able to create a table. So create table if not exists. And this could be like just any old table that we want to create. So let's call this testing. With testing, we then give the data types and everything else here. So I want this to be I can't remember, is it name the column first, or is it data type then name the column? I want to say it's name the column first, right? So it's like ID. It's not called auto increment. Is it increments? Oh, I now forget what it's called. Postgres auto increments. Yeah, auto increment primary key. Serial. Serial is what it's called. Serial, this is, can I do primary key? Serial primary key. Not null. Although I think it's primary key, not null is automatically in there. I don't want to default because it will automatically figure that stuff out. So if I just do this, semicolon U. Okay, I want to run this compose file now. All right, which also means I want to what do you mean? Okay. It restored all of these it restored a whole bunch of terminals that I did not need restored. Okay, so back to you. All right, so I want Docker. I need to stop fs Docker remove fs. Okay, let's do a Docker compose up dash dash. So we can do dash d for background, and I think wait until it's healthy. And then we wait to see if that makes it healthy. Okay, it seems to be. Now I can connect into that that Docker by doing Docker compose exec, name the service, Postgres. I want let's just say bin bash. We can do PSQL. Postgres. I want to connect to database Postgres. Okay, So I'm in the Postgres database now, and I should be able to see the list of databases. Is it DL? Is it DT? There we go. So here's testing, the testing database. Now if I select star from testing, there's nothing in there, but I can insert something in, right? Even though I can't really control the database, right? Actually, is that can, will that work? Can I actually insert something into the database that doesn't exist? Insert into testing values. No, I can't. Okay, so that's a problem. If we're gonna do a test, I shouldn't use an empty table. We should do something else in here. So something like I don't know, like a name, a favorite food, a time, a computer, like a language. Language. This could be a varchar. Um, Gurkuran. Hello. Good morning. Let's do a varchar 255. Sure, why not? This can be. It's not a primary key, but it's not null. Sure, that should be good. I do need to exit out of U. I need to Docker compose down. I need to do a Docker volume. Um, what is this called? Probably just data volume, isn't it? Because the name of this project is data. Uh, yeah. Okay. Then we do Docker compose up again. That should rerun our init script. The first time I do this, I probably shouldn't use a -d so you can see the logs and then see it actually running or failing to run the uh, the init script. That might make sense. So we should probably go into logs too for like how to look at the logs for this. Okay, and Docker compose exec. Okay, PSQL, Postgres. I don't necessarily. I guess I could just use a command here. And this is going to be select star from testing. Oh, we haven't inserted anything, have we? But there's that language. Okay, that's good. So let's just connect in. We're going to insert into testing. I want language values. We're gonna have well, obviously Rust. Do I want anything else in here? Like Rust, JS, um, Java, Ruby, Python. That's fine for now. Um, oh right, it's That's not how I do multiple lines. How do I do this again? It's like I open that up. Oh wait, no. Okay, that's not how to do it. It's values like this, multiplying. Then I can do open and closed. I can do Rust. Do JS like that. And then when we're done, we semicolon it. There we go. That inserts 2 of them. Now I can do another select statement. And there we see Rust and JS. Okay, excellent. And then I could put that into my init of my health check script potentially, but I don't know if that's going to matter. Bolfer said he sat down the other day with Unreal Engine to try some game dev, and he got a side scroller working with full animations. Awesome! Congratulations with that. I've never tried Unreal. I've like installed Unity. That's right? It's called Unity. It's not. Yeah, Unity. But I haven't really done much with it. And you're currently making a blog. Are you making it from scratch, or you're talking about like you're writing a blog, like content for a blog? Either is cool. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So I have my company, they use Unity a lot for their stuff, and so I want to learn it so I can sort of like talk with them more about uh, what they're doing coding practices wise, and like maybe even test some of the stuff out locally on my systems, and sort of like play around with it. Because I'm more on like the web side, but it's sort of interesting to sort of get in there and see what they're doing. Patatas, hello. Your mother wants a web system with a calendar, users, clients, and inventory management. So, as somebody who works at a company who has made 4 calendars, I can tell you that the calendar is the most complicated part of that entire system that you just mentioned. Don't do it. We regret building a custom calendar. And every time we're like, should we build another calendar? The answer is an emphatic no. Don't. Calendars are hard. I know they use Google, but it gets out of sync. Well, okay. So as a dev, we can actually use third-party calendars and just sync handle the sync through the code. So you can spin up and use a Google Calendar for them, and then they don't directly use it. They input data through your system, which then syncs it to and from Google. So that's one way. But there's other calendar sort of systems out there that you can download and use. I just means don't build a calendar from scratch like that. It will turn out to take much longer than you think, and it sucks, especially if you want somebody to use it graphically, because it's just there's a lot of interactions with calendars that are very very not it's not intuitive. No, it's sort of like surprising when you're like, oh, I didn't think that I have to now handle this and then handle this and then handle this, and it's basically a can of worms. Never planned to build a calendar. That's just me. I've been burned so badly by calendars that I'm like, anytime I even hear the word calendar, I have like a reaction. I could make it all myself, but doing everything properly is a lot of work and would require using a database, which would introduce security assessments and worrying about JS insecurities, etc. For something like a blog, it's so much easier to just use third-party server-side rendered thingies. Yeah, I agree with that. Although that's still a blog, right? Like you don't have to make what is it called? you don't have to make or recreate a content management system, a CMS like WordPress. It can just like a blog absolutely can just be a server rendered static thingy, or you can just post to dev.to. It's funny that we have a lot of experience making websites and all, and I still opt to just use a CMS. I think, and this is probably like a good note for anybody who's maybe more junior and like thinking that you have to make everything yourself. Um, the key is what's the value, what's the return on investment for us. If what you're going to get out of it is like a learning opportunity, you're going to get like features that you can't get otherwise, absolutely yes, you should create it yourself. But if you can create it and you just don't want to, that's a completely different thing altogether. And in that case, no, do what allows you to provide value to your end users faster. You got a fun parody video. I will yeah, send it. Wait, do we do hold on. If you send it right now, I'll probably uh ban you temporarily because of the entire comment thing. Where is are you on Discord? If you're on Discord, you can send it to me there. Otherwise, I'll see what I can do to maybe you can or you could whisper it to me too. I think that'll work as well. Okay, so back to this thing. So I have you. We should probably also do an insert statement, although we have this here, so we could insert in. Um, Now what are we looking forward to data wise? We'll be connecting CRM. We'll validate the incoming data. And we'll CRUD inside of, okay, then we do CRUD. I think I should do a to-do app, essentially. Oh, perfect. I got it, Bulferstad. I will add this to my, I'll add this to my list to watch right after the stream. Cool. I queued it up in a tab. Thank you. Okay, so we should do this as a to-do app, because that's sort of like the primary project that we have going here. Okay, that's gonna be good. And then we can work with this. We could basically recreate the database that we already have set up in the other Docker Compose. And I guess if I create and set all of this up, yeah, okay, we have to generate the models for this. Uh, so we need to verify and validate. I don't know. All of these things we're sort of using the to do app. I wonder if I want to skip like creating it ourselves and maybe using this Docker Compose. Which I think I want to replace this test with this other one because it's so much better. I like this test. It's easier to sort of understand what's happening. There's that. Database is the only one that does not have a profile. Everything else has a profile. So that means if I run it, it just is the only thing that runs. Okay, that's great. All right, so let's try that one. So, okay, we have you. If I remove, okay, so I'm in lessons data, which is in here. If I remove this compose, I don't need this in it. Lesser Lambda, rating with a party of 8. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lesser Lambda, what are you working on? And how is your stream today? Zealand, or Zealand, hello, welcome. Good morning. Well, morning for me. Hope the stream's going well. Stream is going well. How was your stream? And what were you working on today? You just finished with some Rust Twitch alerts hacking. Oh, so you're actually working with the event system in Twitch? They have that entire fun thing where like the chat and the events are different APIs, which is I've never really understood why they chose to go that direction. I'm gonna follow you because I'm not following your channel. I wish there was a good way. Can I? No, I can't really like go to your channel easily from the little pop out thing. That's too bad. I wish they added that in. That'd be nice. But hopefully your stream worked out pretty well. Did you get some good Twitch alerts and doing some fun things with them? And while we're waiting, so what we're working on today is I'm preparing for recording lessons. Oh, you had a great time. Finished the weekend project of Zero to Stuff on Screen. Oh, nice. Oh, congratulations. And a full project in a weekend is nice. Okay, so what we're working on today is preparing for a course that I'm creating on Introduction to Axum. So Axum is a backend framework. Think Express if you're knowledgeable with Node.js and sort of JavaScript backend frameworks, or maybe Flask with Python. My knowledge of other frameworks are sort of diminishing after that, or at least the simple ones. Oh, it's not like Ruby on Rails. It's much simpler than those, but it's an API framework for Rust. So that's what Axum is, and we're about to get into the data side of things. We in previous week or two we recorded lessons for routing and creating a router and doing all that fun stuff. And now we're setting up data things. This is the upcoming plan. Make this a little bit bigger. And so the first thing is teaching people how to set up like a local database using Docker, so that way they can actually do something with this. Otherwise, it's completely useless to them. Twitch pub sub API to system notifications, simple but it works. Nice. Yeah, I want to try that. I've done Twitch chat a few different times, but I haven't done a pub sub. Oh, you haven't used Axum yet? Okay, nice. Axum is nice. I've tried and I've done Actix Web, and I've done like okay for example this this screen that I have that entire starting Sue's screen minus the um I forgot that I have the little voids flying around. But the rotating Rust logo and the starting soon is all like rendered by Actix Web and served up that way. I've used Rocket and now Actix, and I like Actix the most so far. Okay, so creating a database. I think what we're gonna do is just have them create a video to run this specific Docker Compose that I have. So if I remember correctly, the way this is gonna work is we're gonna do Docker Compose. I have to use the dash for some reason to make it work with this. Docker Compose. We want to do an I want to remove the volume to have it reset probably. So hold on, let's do that. Docker volume remove that one. Volume, okay. So Docker compose down. Remove the volume. Docker compose up. Now I want to put this in. Do I want this in background mode? Probably not. I think I want. Oh well, thank you, Lester Lambda, and have a good eats. I usually stream until around 8:15 or so, so I've got around 20 minutes left today, and then I'll be heading to work. So if I don't see you before then, thank you again for the raid, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Okay, so Docker Compose up. Can I do wait here? Port is already allocated. Okay, so Docker PS. Oh, my data one is I deleted the compose before I did a Docker compose down. Okay, fine. Okay, so I have to clean up this now. So Docker stop stop you Docker PSA. Okay, so that was everything data related, right? So we have to do Docker. I already stopped it, so I can do Docker remove data dash. I want to do a Docker volume remove data. Oh, did it remove that volume already? No. Oh, it's data underscore. That's why it is. Okay. Remove data underscore data volume. Okay. Now I can remove that other one. So Docker volume remove full stack. Okay. Oh, right. You're still in use. Docker compose down. If I down you, why are you still in use? Okay, you're not in use anymore. Now I can do Docker compose up. Let's wait, and we'll make this interactive mode. It'll be fine. Okay, so we create the network, we create the volume, and we create the database. It's healthy. I guess the weight really wasn't what I expected it to do. That's not. Review. Let's just do an up. There we go. That's sort of what I was expecting. So we can see that we created a table and we inserted all this data into it. Now in here, under database, we have the init.sql, so we can see that we're creating users. So we create a users table, a task table, and then we insert in to users. Interesting. I'm inserting into task twice. That one's just okay. That one's just getting a deleted task. Okay. Okay, and then to verify this, I'm going to create a new thing here. We're going to do a Docker compose exec. What was that? I think it's just database. Bin bash. Yeah. Okay. So I can now do PSQL -u Postgres. Oh, that pulls. Okay, that pulls me in here. So that I. Oh, did I dash D Postgres? Do I have to also tell it that? I don't think I do. Then I want to look at the name of users. So let's just do like a select star from users. There you go. Select star from tasks. There we go. Okay. Notice I do have an actual hashed password in here, sort of set up for that. For the entire course, I do have a test driven for this. So when you go through it, if you fail to hash the passwords in the database, it doesn't let you go through, which is that's really nice. And I like that. Okay, so this is what I want to do for this video. I want to introduce looking through the Docker Compose file, starting up the Docker Compose file, connecting into it, or at least seeing what's in the init.sql in case you want to add more, and then connecting in to this and actually like playing with PSQL. And I guess resetting the database too. That would be nice. So that's probably going to be the rest of our time for this. Let's go ahead and reset all of you. Okay, so I want to down you, Docker volume, move you. Okay, we should be good to go. All right, so while I do these recordings, I am generally not going to respond to Twitch chat. However, if you do send a message, you know something, or you have a question, I will try to sort of incorporate it into the video as best as I can. Okay, so let us. I think I have everything that I need to do for this. Where is our Docker Compose? It's down here. Okay. All right, let's do this. Here we go. All right, we're getting into the data section of Axum. And that means we need to have access to a database to connect to because it would kind of not be worthwhile to just store all of our data in memory and then pretend that we're using a database. And while that might work for maybe like planning out or figuring out the architecture for an app, when we're actually learning, we want to really connect to a database and make sure that we know how to do that. An actual database is required. Now, I have one set up for us in Docker. And so if you don't already have access to a database on your own system, then I would highly recommend using this one. Now, you do need Docker and Docker Compose installed in order to use this database. And this is the same one that we used in the Introduction to You application. So if you're actually, if you're coming from that course, you probably already know all of this to set this up. But let's go ahead and review this anyways. The only service in here that we really care about is database. And we can see that it's going to use the latest version of Postgres. It's going to set ourselves up with the password keyorbcat because I misspelled keyboard cat. But I can't change it now because a bunch of people probably already have this sort of set up in their scripts. And it's also going to use this init.sql file, which we can see under here, database init.sql, which is going to set up the database with two tables, a users and a task table, and then also insert data into there. We're going to insert a deleted user and also a deleted task and two, well, default tasks that will be used for our users later. For the next several lessons, we're not going to be creating the full to-do app, but we are going to be using this as examples of reading and writing to the database so that you can later create a to-do app. All right, let's jump into actually running this. So notice that this is a Docker -compose. This is created with an earlier version of Docker Compose and not the absolute most recent. So you have to use Docker -compose as the command. Otherwise, this won't really work the way that you expect it to. Also notice that I'm in lessons data. You don't need to be in the root project where the Docker Compose file is. You can be anywhere as long as there's no other Docker Compose between you and, well, the Docker Compose here. So what's the command we're going to run? It's going to be Docker -compose. Now I am on a Mac here. This is also going to work on Linux, and it should work on Windows as long as, again, you have Docker and Docker Compose installed. Docker Compose up, and that's it. It's going to show everything sort of spinning up, and what we're looking for here is the 2 create tables and the 3 inserts. That lets us know that everything worked, well, exactly as we expected. Now, if I want to connect it and actually look inside the database itself, I don't want to Control-C this because that will stop our database. I'm going to come to another terminal window, and I'm going to do a Docker compose exec, and this is going to allow me to execute a command interactively with, with a container. And so I want to now select the name of the service. So if we go back to our Docker Compose file here, we can see the name of the service is database. So I want to run a command on database, and I want to run bin bash. That's going to allow me to get an interactive shell inside of this container, so now I can just do whatever I want. If I want to just type ls, we're kind of sort of not in our computer anymore. We're now inside the container. Now this is Postgres, so I can connect into the database using PSQL. The username is Postgres for this. The password, well, I'm as root, so this should figure it out. I want to connect to the database Postgres. The database is going to be in Postgres databases are almost always created with the same name as the user, unless it was overridden. We did not overwrite that, so it is Postgres. So if I just do this, it drops me into PSQL inside of Docker now, and I can now take a look at the list of tables, so which I believe is DL. Sorry, DT. There he goes. DT. So that would be backslash DT, and that gives me a list of tables that we've created. So we can see tasks and users. And now I can just use normal SQL commands to inspect these. So we can do select star from tasks. Don't forget the semicolon. That is important here. If you miss that, it'll drop you into another line here, expecting you to be continuing the previous statement. Let me show you exactly what that looks like, because when I was teaching previously, a lot of students run into this and it would be very confusing. So if I do select star from task, forget the semicolon. Notice here, the only difference that will let you sort of see that you're in the middle of a statement is this dash here as opposed to an equal sign. If I hit semicolon now, it continues it finishes the statement and runs. So if you ever see that, or things just stop working normally, try hitting semicolon or do a Control-C to exit the statement. All right, we can see that these are the 3 tasks that were inserted in by default. Now, if at any time your database gets corrupted, or you accidentally delete everything from the database, or you just want to reset to what we had previously, there is a way to do that. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of Postgres here, and I'm going to come back to our Docker Compose. I'm going to Control-C to quit this. And then we're going to stop it. So or down it essentially. So Docker Compose down. This removes the database containers, but what it doesn't remove is the volume where the initialized database lives, because that lives in between bringing it up and down, up and down. That way it's faster sort of bringing it up every single time. But if you ever want to reset the database, you have to remove the volume itself. So notice that the name of this is full stack to do Rust course, database 1. We're probably looking for just something like this. And then we're going to go find the volume. So we're going to do Docker volume ls. And that lists all the volumes that we have. And here we have full stack to do Rust course DB data, and that actually corresponds with this DB data to the varlib PostgreSQL data. This is where the database is stored. We can now delete this volume. So Docker volume remove that. And then now if I bring this back up again, it's going to rerun the init script. And so we're going to use Docker Compose. Now, let's say you don't want to have your screen just taken over by the text of launching Docker Compose, and you want to get your terminal back. We can do Docker Compose and up a -D for daemon mode. So now it's going to run in the background. When I do that, I like to use a -wait, which is going to wait for this health check to run, which is basically just going to make sure that PSQL can actually run and work as expected. So we're going to run this, and it's going to show me, okay, it's created the network, it's created the volume for us, and it's spinning up Postgres, and now it's healthy. This could take a significantly longer amount of time if you have a large amount of data to insert into the database. But now that it's in a healthy state, we're dropped out here. Now, what if something is just wrong? Like something's not working, you come to the Discord, you ask for help. I might ask you to give me logs. to sort of see into this. We can check what the logs are with a Docker compose. I think it's logs and then the name of the service. So in this case, database. And here we can see, oh, okay, everything is good. Here's the create table statements. It stopped the server, but then it started to back up again, and it's serving in port 5432, and it's up and ready to accept connections. If there was an error, somewhere in here there would be an error message saying, hey, the insert into the database was wrong and it crashed, and so therefore we can't really continue on, or something else. So that is our crash course for setting up our Docker containers, so that now we have access to a Postgres database. And in our future lessons, we'll be able to now connect to that database and run stuff on it. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. All right, well, that was actually a little bit faster than I thought. I hope I didn't go too fast. Sort of rushed through it a little bit. I feel like done that one like 10 different times over the years. Okay, so this is setting up. Maybe I'll call this like Docker Compose Crash Course, maybe. Docker Compose Crash Course. Yeah, very crash. Or maybe I'll call it like the fire hose. It's too much, too fast. Okay, so got you there, which means you're done there. So next time we'll get into installing CORM. We might be able to do all of these tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so also, oh, I didn't, yes, Wizard Frag, welcome. Hello. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is gonna be next time. Let's close all of you down. You're all saved. Let's quit out of you. And let's commit these on up. So recorded Docker compose listen. And I'll push those on up too. All right, everybody. I think I mentioned, yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. I've been doing these streams Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You just came because you saw Rust. I'm sorry. I'm just ending too. I do the streams on 7 a.m. Mountain Time through around 8:15 or so. Because I do have a day job. I have to go get ready for that, and that it's that entire thing. So let's see, I don't have anything else to do or check here. So anyways, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out today. I'm glad we were able to record at least one video with this. And I will hopefully see you all next time. I need to switch over to you. Have a good one and see you next time. Bye.